Hello, I am Sophie and welcome back to my channel, and if you are a beta reader for me, or you read Draft 2 and you don't want to know how I changed Draft 3, maybe don't watch this one. Anyways, welcome, if you did end up staying, to another speed paint. I haven't done one of these in a while, mostly because I just haven't drawn a lot lately. Who would have thought? It's crazy. But over the last few weeks, I have been able to work on some new character portraits, and these are for the characters of Project What's New, but also the two new POVs that I added to the second book in the trilogy, Project Moss. This all started when I wanted to draw one of the characters from this book, the one that you are seeing right now. Because before the third draft, I had killed this character off. He was dead before the end of book one, so I never really settled on like a concrete image of what this character looks like. I had a basic idea, of course, but I had never sat down and actually drawn him out, which that's a pretty crazy excuse to not draw a character. It's like, oh, they're dead. Like, I don't need to draw him. But now he's not. And this is where I ended up drawing him. Oops. And okay, that's not the only reason why I'm drawing him. I love this character. He is like my favorite in the whole wide world. He's the best. And I was just always sad that I never had a concrete idea of him on paper. It just made me kind of sad. And now that he was living longer than just book one, I had the perfect excuse to actually draw him. And not to toot my own horn, but I do think this turned out great. It is actually like very accurate to how I see him in my head, which, you know, is always good. It's always good to have a character drawing that, you know, looks like the character. And this success motivated me to draw the rest of the cast of the book. I love making too large of commitments all the time. It's just so fun and a fun, quirky thing about me. But after that, I started working on the portrait for the second new POV, and I've drawn this character before because I thought he was going to be in the rest of the series as well. He is going to be in the series, but he's in the series for a different reason. I'll leave it at that. But I had drawn this character before because I didn't kill him off. So, you know, he was alive. He's going to be alive for all 3 books. So I drew him already. And the drawing that I have done of him wasn't complete. It was just a sketch. Just a vague idea of what this guy looks like. So now I wanted something a little more finished, something a little nicer. And this one also turned out very well, very accurate to what my little brain shows me when I'm writing. And honestly, all of these are the most accurate portraits I have of all these characters thus far. And I think the reason why, which, hot take, I know, super like unpopular opinion, but it definitely was aided with references. I really just doubled down on finding accurate references for all of these characters so I could base their facial features off of actual human people in real life. So, I know, so crazy, so new, no one's ever thought of this before. References work. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And in these drawings as well, I tried to play a little more with like mixing coloring textures. Like for some of the rendering, I used like this like paintbrush tool that made sort of like a rougher look, and then like in the hair I used the lasso tool to color it because I'm lazy, but it also makes like a fun effect, so that's like a little sharper than the paintbrush tool. Sometimes I just overlaid some texture brushes and made everything just a little more fun, a little more complex. And honestly, I really liked how it turned out, so I'm probably going to use that technique more in the future. So if you see more random textures in like clothing or hair or something, just know. Just know where it all began. Anyways, the next 3 characters that you will see are people you guys are probably very familiar with. It is the Violet trio of Violet. It's them, it's the gang. And while I've drawn these characters a lot, I will say again, these are the most accurate portraits I have of these 3 ever. Like, usually when I draw them in a new style, I can very easily pick out a favorite of the 3 that I'm like, okay, this one captures their essence the most, and then the other 2 are like, okay. They're okay, but this one, like, I nailed it. And this time, I feel like all 3 are nailed. Maybe not nailed, but they're definitely good. They're definitely good, and they're definitely how I see the characters. And of these 3, particularly Elliot's, amazing. I love this portrait of him. It's I think perfect. I think this is him in the flesh, digitally, and not real. So, not in the flesh, but yeah. And, you know, this is also like basic artistic improvement. Like, over time, you practice more, you get better at drawing, you get better at replicating references. Like, that's gonna happen. Also, being more patient and being willing to start over if something doesn't look right and I should probably change it, which that happens a lot in these. You could probably see how many times I like go over noses and eyes and like hair, but just like practice using references, taking your time, literally basic tips that you get told. And I'm finally applying them, and look, it's working. It's working. It's crazy. But anyways, I will stop yapping. Let you let you watch the rest of these speed paints in peace. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Tell me how life is. Tell me how writing's going. Do you guys draw your characters too, or am I just a little too obsessed with my own book? Let me know in the comments. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.